My client Cornelius John. He has a few words to say to the media and in general to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Before I turn you over to him, I just want to read the letter which I wrote to Colin John, the Commissioner of Police, since the 4th of May 2021. Dear Mr. Commissioner, read charges against assailants of Cornelius John. I act on behalf of Cornelius John of Diamond Village, and I am instructed that since he was brutally shot in the leg and assaulted with another firearm in his own yard on the 13th of April 2021, no arrests have been made. Please respond urgently to the following questions. 1. Why, after 3 long weeks, no one has been even detained or arrested? 2. When will the 3 perpetrators be charged? 3. Have the firearms been seized from Mrs. Morgan and Mr. Nelson and the third assailant? Who is the third assailant? Is he a policeman? When will the police interview the 2 witnesses who are under your purview, and in particular the eyewitness? Who summoned the police who appeared on the scene immediately after the shooting, and who took away the shell from the discharge gun, took photos, and marked the spot where the shell was found? Have you taken witness statements from those police, including Sergeant Prescott, who led the party? I refer to a Searchlight report where you stated as saying the incident has taken on the form of cross complaints, in that the parties involved, Nelson, John, and Morgan, have all reported that they were violated in some form or another during the incident. I refer also to a statement made by the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, on NBC Radio as follows. And I read the statement, what the Prime Minister said. I wouldn't go through it. In view of this attempt by the Prime Minister to put his spin on the matter and thus shield the Senator and delay justice, I exhort you, Mr. Commissioner, to be truly impartial. My client is absolutely alarmed by this reference to him violating either of the 3 trespassers who came to his yard in any form. He categorically denies violating or committing any criminal offense whatsoever on that fateful day. He particularly denies committing any violence against his wife, causing the perpetrators to trespass on his property and attack him. You are urged not to permit any blatantly false allegations to delay the course of justice in this matter. I have already referred to the independent witness who supports my client's position in every material way and who resides next to my client. My client and I stand ready to answer any cross complaint you may decide to bring, bearing in mind that a cross complaint implies that you have also brought complaints against the real attackers. The public is anxiously awaiting your impartial and necessary action so my client can have the justice he deserves. I anticipate your very prompt response to all the issues raised by me on behalf of my client, and it's copied to the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Prime Minister. To date, I have had absolutely no response from the Prime Minister, the Deputy Director of the Director of Public Prosecutions, or the Commissioner of Police. Not even an acknowledgement that they actually received the letter, which was served on them, so I know that they received the letter. So I wanted Mr. John to tell the public in his own words how he feels about this delay of justice. St. Vincent is a country of laws. The rule of law is on trial. Administration of justice demands that these assailants be detained, investigated, and some charges be brought against them. My client is hurting, and I thought that he should tell St. Vincent and Grenadines exactly how he as a Vincentian feels that up to now 5 weeks, not a single person has been detained in this matter. He's crying out for justice. I'll hand you over to Mr. John. First of all, I want him to answer a rumor that is going around. It has been rumored all over that Mr. John has compromised, that he has taken money, and that he's withdrawing the charges. This is first of all, I would say that he is entitled to get some compensation, but that is a civil matter, and we will be dealing with that. But where the criminal matter is concerned, to even try to take money to drop a criminal matter is against the law. It is an offense. So I want him to tell you, put an end to this rumor, because I think it is malicious. I think it is designed to sidetrack people or to get them to drop the issue because they believe that the matter is settled and it is behind us. So I hand you over to Mr. John, who will tell you in his own words the situation.
I say to St. Vincent and Grenadines, good afternoon. My name is Cornelius John, the one who gets shot at diamond in his leg by 3 persons came into my yard. And up to today, I haven't heard anything from the police concerning the matter, as if they arrest anybody or charge anybody. As a citizen of St. Vincent and Grenadines, one who loves his country, born and grew up in St. Vincent and Grenadines, support the development of St. Vincent and Grenadines, love the people, and the people love me, I think it's time for some justice to take place in St. Vincent and Grenadines. I am one individual, but there are many others out there who are citizens, who love the country, want to live here and grow peacefully. I think it's time that some justice should take place. So I'm calling to the citizens of St. Vincent who are saying now that I have really settled the matters. I take money from anybody, from people. I have not taken any money from anyone to settle any matter. As far as I am concerned, this matter is not about me alone. It is about the citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, law-abiding people who want to live in St. Vincent peacefully. If they can do this injustice to me, it will be a practice continuing to other people. I am appealing to the Commissioner of Police that justice can be solved, the Christian Council to look to see that justice will be solved, the Bar Association, I'm appealing to them that they should see that justice is solved in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. By this case, what happened to me and others that take place in the country. If we supposed to be a country of laws, who govern by law and order, and someone feel that they're above the law, they could shoot anybody and run around and get you free. I don't think, I will say God forbid, but I don't think it will be the end. It will be a continuation if they're allowed to go free. So I'm saying to the people, rise up. St. Vincent belongs to us. It's not only for a few people. We have been suffering for a long time. Only a few people getting the good of the land. I think the good of the land is supposed to be sharing for everyone in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a very hard and rough situation when only a few can reap the good of the land and the majority suffer. We all are human beings, made and created by in the image and likeness of God. God set the boundary of our inhabitations. He put us to live in St. Vincent. I don't think anyone should come and play Lord and Master over St. Vincent and want to say who should live and who shouldn't live. St. Vincent belongs to all of us. So I'm appealing to our citizens, God-fearing and loving people in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to rise up and stand against evil. This is what they have done to me. It's evil in the highest office. Evil from the highest place. Rise up and stand against evil. What's up?
I myself would like to add that I am still waiting to find out who was the third perpetrator who entered my client's yard. I have information as to who it might be, but there's no reason for the Commissioner of Police to be hiding the name of this person, even for the security and safety of Vincentians. I asked myself whether it is because he appeared to have decided to withdraw from the common design that they came there for, and that he would be a good witness to support my client's case. Is that why they are hiding his name? This is a public matter now, And justice demands that we know who the third person is, so that he can also be interviewed by me on behalf of my client. And certainly, I do not know if they've taken a statement from him yet. If the police took a statement from him yet, we're entitled to know all of this.
Questions?
Yes, sure.
I just wanted to know, from a legal standpoint, you mentioned that you have reached out to the commissioner, but from a legal standpoint, is there anything that can be done if we are not seeing any charges being brought forward?
Okay. The reason why I copied the letter to the Director of Public Prosecutions is because according to the Constitution, she is the person who is in charge of all criminal prosecutions in St. Vincent. So in case the Commissioner of Police was lagging his feet, I thought, let me make sure I inform the Director of Public Prosecutions what is going on and what has not happened. I have not had an answer from her. So, sad to say, it seems as though they're all knocking one head, whether it is with the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Commissioner of Police, who incidentally was in the DPP's office as Assistant DPP, which is the current position of Karim Nelson. So right there we can see the difficulty. If he has a difficulty doing his job, and maybe again the Director of Public Prosecution might have a difficulty doing her job, then they should hand it over to someone who can do it. But it cannot be that anyone is above the law in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It cannot be. And I would not like the citizens of St. Vincent and Grenadines to accept that. So to get back to your question, if nothing is done, and it appears to me that nothing is going to be done if after 5 weeks nothing has been done, except the public insist, there is the procedure under the Criminal Procedure Code where private criminal actions can be brought. It happened before. I was involved in it when we brought private criminal actions against certain members of the ULP government. As a result, the law was amended so that a fiat would be, you must have the fiat of the Director of Public Prosecutions. No, that is the current state of the law, before any individual can bring a private criminal action. Well, you see where we are going. If I cannot even get an answer to my letter, writing for a fiat, not that I wouldn't do it if it comes to that, but I'm not taking away the responsibility from them by putting it on my client's back, because it's very expensive to do a private criminal prosecution. It's expensive. So why should he have to pay a lawyer to bring a private criminal prosecution when we are paying the Commissioner of Police and the Director of Public Prosecutions to do that? That is their job. And so I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do it yet. I want them to do their job. In any event, I'm going to have the hurdle of overcoming the DPP's consent or not. Of course, we can go to judicial review if she unreasonably withholds a consent. But again, that is at the expense of my client. And it is unfair that for something like this, he should have to pay a lawyer to get justice. So, what else can we do? I would have to throw that out to the members of the public. What else can we do when the Commissioner of Police and the Director of Public Prosecutions refuse in a case as blatant as this to do what they should do?
Okay, Kenton, Chance Eyewitness News. I have a question regarding the DPP in terms of the way the process works. Is it not that the police investigates a matter and then they present a file to the DPP and the DPP makes certain decision based on that file? Can the DPP order the police, as it were, to investigate a matter?
Yes, because the DPP is the person in charge of all criminal investigations. So it really, the buck stops with the Director of Public Prosecutions and probably the Minister of National Security, because we can say that, and Minister of Legal Affairs. You see the triangle that we're speaking about. It's a difficulty, but yes, I think that she can, because she's in charge of all criminal prosecutions.
Life from Consultant newspaper. I saw on social media a lot of chatter trying to turn the incident with Mr. John into a political kind of thing. My question is, has anyone approached Mr. John in relation to offering money to do our incident?
Mr. John can answer that question.
No. My answer to that is no. No one has ever approached me or asked me anything. And I don't think they should, because this leg that I have is priceless. It was given as a gift to me from God. It is not for sale. It is not for money. As a Christian, the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. If I am going to compromise my stance with God for money, I will be bound for hell. It doesn't make sense. I talk about God. So if you put God first, the love of money is the root of all evil. I am not in love with money. I'm in love righteousness, rightness. What is right?
As I said, I saw a lot of chatter on social media of persons of a certain political persuasion saying that you were approached. What would you like to say to these persons?
Well, I haven't been approached, but politically, from 18 years, when I was 18 years of age, I began to support a party what you used to call UPM. That was the leader, Ralph Gonsalves. From 18 years to 62 years, I support Ralph Gonsalves. Changing over to the ULP or whatever. I never waver for support. But as a citizen, I found it necessary now to realize justice needs to be done in St. Vincent. So it's not about politics. It's not about NDP or ULP. As a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, one who have the rights from God to live, and others who are citizens in St. Vincent. It is about that.
Mr. John, one of the other things that we've been hearing in the mix is your relationship with your wife and what may or may not have happened that may or may not have contributed to this incident. Is there anything you want to say about this?
The relationship with my wife?
Yes.
Me and my wife had good relationship. It's just that means sometimes the devil step in and he try to get the head with, but I rebuke him. He didn't able to get the head with, so he attacked me. I send whoever he sent to attack me. My wife is where she is.
Mr. John, there are some insinuations that on the day of the incident, there was some spouse abuse happening, some sort of it's been said was beaten on your wife, and these people stepped in to intercede. Is that the case?
Nothing like that. Nothing like that happened. My wife was on her own property. I was on my property. She wasn't on my property at that time. She was on her own property. I alone was on my property when they came.
Did your assailants give you any reason for entering your property?
No reason at all.
Okay, I've asked you this before, but just for the benefit of the people who might be hearing or hearing for the first time, can you tell us in brief what happened on that day?
On that day, I was at least it was dark. 6:30 that time it was dark. I was sitting on my porch. No, I was coming out of the house when I saw 3 persons enter on my property. They was heading for the back of my property. I holler, hello, because hello. When I say hello, they turn back. One of them said, Mr. John. I said, good evening, sir. Then he said, you want to kill the senator? I said, what you talking about? And then I was at the black sitting at that time. A black sitting near to some columns. So I said, what you talking about? Then after that I said, leave my family alone. I am an old man. I need my wife to support me in my business. You have family? Let them go around with you to support you. Leave my wife alone. As I said that, one the guy came behind my back, and the tall one was 3 of them. A guy, a lady, 2 guys, 1 lady. The shorter guy went behind my back and he stand there. Then he tapped me on my shoulder, he said, relax. As he said relax, the tall one run off and he kicked me off the blocks. I fell behind at the side, and then he began to kick me all over, kick and stamp, belly, foot, chest, head, till I defecate myself. After kicking me, he pulled his gun. When he pulled his gun, the other guy said, you don't call for all of that, you don't have to do that. You don't call for all of that. Then he cranked the gun, and he pulled my foot, and he aimed and shoot me in my foot with the gun. Then the other guy say, "Choops." He chooped his teeth and he began to leave the yard. Then the other two, the lady come across by the step in front and point a gun in my face and say, "If you call my name with the F word, I will shoot you in your mouth." I said, "Look, my mouth, you could shoot me in it one time." Then the two of them leave because the other one already left and they run go up the road. That was it.
And who assisted you after the incident?
It had the neighbors come out, but it had a neighbor on the side. She came and she looked around with her light. Then she asked me if what happened. I said, "They shoot me in my foot." She said, "Could you walk? Get up." I said, "No." Then she called the police. I think she called for her husband first. And then she called the police and the ambulance. Then the police came. When the police came, my foot was bleeding. They say, we had to assist this man, carry this man to the hospital before he stay here and bleed to death because it was bleeding a lot. Then the police say, anybody have any sheet anywhere around that I could ban the foot? So I say, I tear off my jersey and I ban above my knee because the blood was spouting. And when I ban above my knee, the lady come around and I tell she, well, go inside the house and she will see some clothes on the line inside. They bring something in me and she bring like a pants and 2 other jersey and I ban it up and they held me up, jog along, and they put me in a vehicle and they carry me to Calaca station in the road, and then they transfer me from Calaca to an open back vehicle, pick up, and they carry me to the hospital from there.
So you had no prior altercations with the assailants? You have no idea what prompted their attack?
No, none at all. I had no idea. I completely lost why they could come and do me what they did.
You weren't wearing masks or anything?
They had on
They don't face masks?
yes, and they had on a cap on their head.
All
One
of
had
them?
on glass.
All of them were wearing caps?
Yes.
All three of them?
Mostly, I think so. If anyone didn't wear a cap was the short one who went behind my back. Because I wasn't looking around, I wasn't paying attention to him. As the other one ran off and kicked me off the thing, now it's begun like everything get crazy.
Okay, so notwithstanding the fact that you say you were wearing masks and caps, were you able to recognize any of these people? And if so, how were you able to recognize them?
I know the lady very well. I know her very well. I saw her grow up in the community from small. I saw her go to school. I know her talks, the way she speaks, her voice, the song of her voice. I know the way she walks, a little glide and a little bend way. I know her very well. Because even the same morning, the lady came down to pick up my wife, to take her out. I was right there standing at the road, and my wife was speaking. And I said, look, the woman come to where you say you're going. And then I said to her, look, sharp, come back.
Was she wearing a mask then, the lady? Was she wearing a mask?
At that time?
Yes.
She was in her vehicle.
So you did not see her?
No.
Okay, so who is this lady?
The lady is Ashelle Morgan.
Is it the Senator Ashelle Morgan?
Yeah, they say she is the senator, deputy speaker of the house.
What would you say to persons who may say that it's your word against theirs because no one else witnessed the incident?
It have witness. They could say they have no one else witnessed the accident. My neighborhood is very close. Anything goes on, people see. Probably some of them will not want to talk, but anything goes on, people see.
I can say, that there is a witness who gave a statement, and I'm told that the police eventually, following my letter, where I pointed out that there was an eyewitness and asked that she be interviewed. Up to 3 weeks, up to almost 4 weeks, the witness was not interviewed. But from my understanding, the witness has now been interviewed about a week now, but still nothing.
I want to ask Mr. John one question in terms of, and this has something to do with the last question that Mr. Chance asked. Are you fearful that either the perpetrators the first time, or they may send someone else to come and perhaps do you more harm, or what publicity that has been getting now? And in light of the authorities, well, you haven't seen anything yet, but are you nervous? Are you fearful? Have you been looking, living differently, since the incident took place?
It is possible that fear could involve, because she already made a threat if I call her name. I call her name. She would do what she wanted to do. So it is possible, but looking at the real fear as fear itself, as being a child of God, I have no fear. I fear no evil. Because to die now is to gain, is to be going with Christ. To live is still living with Christ. So the fear of death is that I know I am going to come back when Christ comes. And I might meet the same wicked people to judge too. So I have no fear in that part. But physically, as a human being, fear could involve.
Mr. John, you say you and your wife have a good relationship. So I'm trying to understand what is the relationship that she has with the young woman who is committed this crime against you?
What the relationship I have?
You said no, your wife. You said the very next morning after you had been shot, your wife went into a vehicle with this young lady.
Not the next morning, the same morning that has been shot.
Okay, all right. So what's the relationship between the individuals then?
It seems to me as if they pick up some kind of friendship or the other. They was visiting, what they were doing, they was visiting shelters for the suffer eruption. So I told my wife, this is time when families need to be together. If in case of an emergency, you have to leave, instead of one here and one day, everybody could leave together. But she ignored, I don't know what happened, why she ignored me and keep going with the woman. But that's what was happening. So I get annoyed as a husband. How could my wife disrespect me? Me and she living for 27 years. This woman, they had 10 encounters with this lady. How could you just disrespect me, disregard me, and keep going with this one? What happened? What happened? Why you can't control yourself? You can't respect your husband you've been living with for 24 years, 27 years. So I keep wondering what happened. I still can't understand what happened. How come? This, my wife, I treat her as a queen. Nothing shortage. She don't miss nothing. The children miss nothing. They go to school, they carry the best. They never carry second-hand book. 3 children. They never use second-hand clothes. They never go sleep hungry. They never go school hungry or short of anything. They get the best. And 2 of them went to the best secondary school in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, grammar school and Thomas Sanders. One of them went there with 30% pass. 30, he come 34 overall for boys. If, as they say, me and my wife had, how come a family could be intact for so long? Raise quality children. They don't smoke weed, they don't drink rum, they don't go party, they go to church. Quality children in the nation. They now, both of them now going to college, 2 sons now going to college. I was hoping before this thing happened they would have gone to university. But right now, I can't wish that again. Somebody come and take away my hope and destroy my family. Same thing I was trying to say. Leave my family alone. Leave us, let us be. We struggle from far. I come out of poverty. I had no father to mind me. While I remember my father gave me $7.50 in my whole life. I grew up in a trash house, Watland house. I wanted to arrive from poverty and bring my children out of poverty. So I want to leave something worthwhile for them. So I keep walking towards them. So my goal is for my children to come out, not to suffer as I suffer, trying to bring them out. But this individual determined that she is going to destroy my family. God forbid.
Would you say that the exchange between you and your wife that morning was heated?
No, it was very nice. That morning I was going to the farmland. So my wife was supposed to go with me. She told me, I have some corn plant to plant. Bring some 7 for me. Because I had the 7 home out we soaked the corn plant with. I took the 7 for her. And we was by the gate talking. Because she was telling me she had a niece for me living with she. And she don't like how the niece perform. And the niece, when she praying, she just there with she toe and walking up as if she chanting. And she don't like that, so she sent her away. I said, that is you. You like take people in your house. You like to take people, you have to deal with her. So we will have a nice conversation going on, and I'd say, well, the lady come, you will meet me up there when you say, she told me she was going for some bottle of water. She wanted some bottle of water. She was going to get the bottle of water and come back. So we had no argument, no quarrel.
Did your wife ever say that she might have shared something with the lady that might have prompted any kind of adverse feeling?
Well, from that time, she never speak to me after. So would not know that.
After the incident, your wife hasn't spoken to you?
Haven't spoken to
But
me.
Mr. John, notwithstanding everything that you said today, I can't help but remember that the first time I spoke to you, you said that you and your wife have been living apart since December.
Yeah.
So you're speaking about this nice family, but yet you guys are
No,
not living
we
apart.
was living apart, separate house. But she comes by me all the time. Even the Sunday night, she sleep by me till about 2 o'clock and she went back over. This reason why we went apart, it's a different matter. So I find it better for she to live there. She have a comfortable house to live in, and I stay by myself. It wasn't a warfare. A warfare.
Were there any weapons retrieved from the scene?
Not to my knowing, because there was no any weapon retrieved from the scene. It had to be the gun that they shoot me with.
Do you have any other internal damages? You said you put a picture about it.
Well, I feel a lot of pain under my bottom belly all now, and by my left side, across at the bottom of my left side, I feel a lot of pain every evening, every early morning. Like if I want to pass urine or defecate or anything, it hurts a lot.
The doctor has noted that you have a medical report.
No, the doctor did not check that. I told them about that in the hospital, but as far as I know, they didn't check it.
Are you still wearing a cast on your damaged
Yes,
leg?
it is from my toe right up almost to my groin, about 4 inches from my groin it is.
And was the bullet still left in your leg that you were shot with, or did it
Yes,
pass
the doctor told me the bullet is there, but the foot damaged badly, so the best thing to do is try to get the bone back together because the bone split. Best thing to do is try to get the bones back together, and then after they could deal with that.
How was the leg progressing?
Well, some the pain left. It had a lot of pain, but some left. But at times it burned and hot at times.
How was your business progressing?
The business almost none exists. What I tried to do, because I had to eat, is get some guys to assist me in doing little things around what they could. They can't do it to the police, but I had to eat and get the little things to eat.
Okay, so we'll have maybe 2 questions more, and then we would wrap up.
The gentleman, who's the other gentleman here?
He's my brother. He assists me daily.
So does he support you in the stance that you're taking?
Indeed.
Yes, please.
Can you tell us your name, sir? Do you mind?
Asking.
Sorry?
Asking.
Asking what?
Commonwealth.
Come on.